Hi guys, welcome to another lure painting tutorial. Today we're gonna paint another aquarium fish or exotic fish. It's also part of a contest on a Facebook group called Brotherhood of Custom Crankbait Painting, which is a really great group. I learned a lot there. The moderators are really good, really friendly people. It's really worth to be a part of. So now let's get painting. Alright guys, let's get started. First of all, let's see at what we are going to paint today. As you can see, there's a really cool fish. There's a lot of colors going on. There's a little bit of blue, I see a little bit of green, I see light blue, a little darker blue, I see really dark blue, I see a little bit of black and orange in there. So it's gonna be a real challenge to make this as natural as possible, because I wanna make this as natural as possible. But we'll give it a shot. That's why I chose this blank. It's a bluegill glide bait, and in terms of the body shape, they look quite similar. How do we start on this? Of course, white base coat, but our blank is already white, and it's a kind of a dirty white. It's cream white, and I like that because I don't want to go too bright on this. I'm not gonna use the system like I start with light colors first and I work my way to the darker colors. No, because I will be coming back with some white here and there to give it some highlights again, because I want some colors to stick out on top of other colors, and you cannot do that if you're going from light to dark. So that's why I'm planning out my steps first right now. I'm looking at my reference picture and thinking, okay, how am I gonna do this? How I'm gonna achieve that effect? How I'm gonna start with my base and work my way up there. So first of all, I want to have a plan, and I'm not gonna use the traditional way of working from light to dark. So let's first begin with putting a nice big pearl coat on this lure. I also want the tail to be white, so I'm gonna try to paint the hairs white so I can paint the tail as well. We're gonna take some dead white from Vallejo. Easy to spray, easy to clean. I really like using Vallejo colors to just do little touch-ups, color small areas, and if I want to do something really quickly, I always use Vallejo. Now next up is we're gonna layer our very base, which we want to be a very shiny base. And the good thing about having all these spoons with tests laying around, like the black versus white base coat for gold and silver, you can see that actually this silver on white base is pretty nice to start off with on this lure as well, because I don't want my base to be super white. So if I would use pearl white, it will be very bright and white. And if I look at the fish, the blues are not super light everywhere. There are some lighter like dots on there, which are very light blue, but the base color of the body underneath feels more silvery than it feels white. So we're gonna use a silver on white to give our fish this base. It's gonna be more visible than pearl white on white as well, so it's gonna make our fish more silvery. In overall, it's gonna feel more flashy and scaly than when you do it with pearl white. We're gonna keep the head lighter, and we're gonna do a pearl white on the head actually, and on the gill plates, and we're gonna do the whole body we're gonna do in a silver base coat. So it's gonna stick out a little from each other too, because this will be darker and this will be lighter, so it's gonna be nice. Yep, a few drops of pearl white. And as you can see, I do it very irregular. That's because I love irregularity. It looks much more realistic. So I have a little darker and a little lighter spots on there. It's just gonna give more depth to our lure. So I just do it randomly. Next up is we're gonna cover the entire body with Hot Rod Sparkle White. What this does is it's gonna light up everything a little bit, but it's also gonna add a lot of sparkle and glitter in there, which I really love. And if you look at a reference picture, you do see a lot of shiny scales and everything, so the Hot Rod Sparkle is really gonna add a third dimension to our scales and everything. Vallejo Sun Yellow. Oh yeah, the Sun Yellow is definitely nice and bright, so that's perfect. You can do quite big areas with just a few drops of Vallejo actually. It's really nice. So let's look at a reference picture, and we see a lot of yellow going on almost the entire head, and then behind the gill plates as well, but not the lower side. So that looks pretty good. Don't use too much Vallejo on one spot, because then it will turn opaque. I love Sunburst Yellow. It's a beautiful color. And I still got a lot left in my chamber, which is really nice. They really last quite a long time. Is there anywhere else some yellow? I see some yellow on the fins, so we're gonna do that. On the dorsal fin and the tail fin. Right, I see a little orange on the top of the head and at the edge of the fins, as well on the tail fins I see a little bit of orange. So hot orange is a great color from Vallejo, and we're just gonna dust it on there on the top of the head. We're not gonna spray at high pressure here, so only 2 drops should be enough. And what I mean by that is right now I'm shooting about at 30 psi. I like spraying at high pressures. I think I am spraying at about less than 5 psi, I think. If you can hear that. It's almost no air pressure. Why am I doing that? If you do it on paper, with high pressure, you see these yellow spots. These are very clean and nice. If I try that. You see how I'm splattering? You see how this is splattered and the yellow is clean? That's because of the low air pressure. I'm actually splattering or spattering my paint on there because my air pressure is too low. And I actually want that effect right now because I just want to splatter some orange here and there. Of course you do get more tip dry this way. Just like that. Dust it on there. Not sprayed. Now for the fins, I am gonna up my air pressure. Take all the tip dry off. And do the top of every fin. We'll go over with some red because I find this too hot of an orange. Right, I got some wicked pearlized bright blue in my chamber now, and we're just gonna do, let's see on my reference picture, everything behind the yellow except for the white on the belly and the fin as well. I want this blue sheen on there first. Now I got some pearlized yellow in my chamber. And I just dusted some pearlized yellow on to the yellow we got. Just to darken it a little bit, tone it down just a little bit. Quickly gonna take some blood red and fix the fin. Still might be a little too bright, but it's better than the orange. Right, so now I'm gonna take my Vallejo Dead White again. And we're gonna add some of the blue details in the face already. Now this is gonna be real detail work. So I lower my air pressure to 20 psi, maybe 25. And if we look at the head, then we see these blue kind of accents here and there. I'm gonna try to replicate them, but they will not be exactly the same, of course. But we'll do our very best to put some dots and lines on there. Test spray first. Always test spray first if you're doing detailing, especially. And also, when the black line goes down, you see a little bit blue next to the black line as well. Right, so the dots on the fins we're gonna do as well. We're gonna do them on the dorsal fin and on the tail fin. We're gonna do them manually. It's the easiest right now. Right guys, sorry, I just got interrupted because I received my birthday present. Or at least it's an early birthday present. An Iwata custom micron. I can't wait to use this thing. I am super excited. I bought this mostly with focus on doing regular airbrushing on other materials, but also for detailing on lures. So we're gonna try this airbrush right away and try some detailing. But yeah, extremely excited to use this one. Right, so I'm putting my Iwata clips to the side. Gonna take some Wicked Dead White, and I'm probably gonna reduce it a little bit. That is looking good. Going well with this airbrush. Really nice fine dots. Right, so I got detail moss green in my chamber now. I thinned it down just a little. Let's darken up some of that yellow on the top. Right, now we're gonna do our white again on the head. And I'm gonna change to the micron because it doesn't need to be that fine. So now it's time to put our stencil on. This is a stencil that comes from, I don't know what it's called, a drying laundry bag, I would say. It's kind of this bag where you can put laundry in for the dryer. And it keeps it all together. Nothing really special here. No special stencils. Now, the thing is, some of the scales are lighter on the top of the lure than others. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go with my white and do a few of these lighter scales as well first. And then later we're gonna come back and do everything with the blue candy. Overlay of that white again, just to brighten up some of these dots. So as you can see, we did some scales a little lighter, just some white. You can see on the underside of the tail are also a few. Right, Candy 2O, curry blue, always mixed with a little bit of 40-30 and a little bit of reducer just to make it spray easier. And you do get less tip dry if you use a little bit of reducer. Alright, now we want to cover everything besides the yellow and the fin, and not too much of the belly either. Just a little bit on the belly, but especially the silver and our highlighted scales we want to cover, and that's mainly it. We want to be blue. Let's see what we have created. Not bad at all. Gonna look nice with some clear coat on. Then all the pearlescent and the metallics are gonna come back. But I'm quite pleased how it looks right now. Yeah, pretty happy. So now we're just gonna touch up some with the curry blue, like the back. Lightly dust some more blue between the scales. And now all the white that is left is gonna be blue too. So I'm gonna try to do as less overspray as possible. Take some eyes Put a little clip on them so they don't fly away, and I can hold them like this. Gonna take out red and tequila yellow. So one tiny drop red, some tequila yellow, let's say 3 drops, some 40-30, and some reducer. Gonna paint our eyes orange, nicely orange. Let that dry. We're gonna take our candy black now. Now we're gonna do the black accents. Let's see, there's a dot, a pretty big one, just behind the yellow. Pretty big black dot. Now we're already gonna put our eye in, so we can finish the line over the eye as well. Now you can also use 2 bits of masking tape and mask off that line, but I'm just gonna freehand it like so. Not bad. So that starts to look like a beautiful fish. I like it. I like it. Right, so I got wicked silver in my chamber. We're just gonna darken that fin a little. Now I'm gonna take some pearl white, and I wanna lighten up that gill plate, but just the inner side of it, nothing more. So guys, our lure is finished. That is gonna get a lot more depth as soon as we get epoxy on it. But I think it looks pretty good now. I'm pretty happy. Let's clear coat this one. Alright guys, the lure is finished. As you can see, it turned out really pretty. It's a beautiful fish actually. And I hope the camera can pick it up, but the silver underneath the candy really shines through when the light hits it. Really gives this kind of silvery scale effect, just like we wanted to. And also the pearl white on the gill plates really lights up the gill plates as well, like on the picture. So I think this is a big success. Really cool lure. I'm really happy with this. And as always, I will leave a link in the description below with all the materials you need for this lure. And if you're interested in buying this lure, just leave me a message or send a message to Lure Blanks. And then we'll sort things out, because this one is actually for sale. And if you're not a member yet of the Facebook group called Brotherhood of Custom Crankbait Painting, make sure you check out that group. It's a very great group with helpful people, very nice people, and you can see and learn a lot there. It's really nice. So guys, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.